Welcome homies, I'm Swam. A couple of weeks ago when it was really hot outside, I decided to do something with my hair. I don't like washing my hair because I have this weird pet peeve of how leaving it out to dry could potentially give me a cold. Anyway, since everyone is in social isolation right now, including my barber, I decided to cut my hair myself. It started with a slight trim here and there, and little do I know, I'm starting to look like the dwarf from... So I trimmed here and there once more, and I was starting to look like the blonde version of... For a couple of weeks now, my hair's been going into a bush. So I've been wearing bandanas more frequently because it makes me feel like I still have hair, with the one advantage that I don't have to wash it. So I decided to make D.I.Y bandanas, but like make it extra. I've had some experience with embroidering. For the past few months, I've been embroidering various scandalous patches, if I may say so myself. So today, I'm going to use my embroidering skills to make myself a D.I.Y Louis Vuitton. Hold up, a Louis Vuitton bandana? Yes, Zucchinis, you are right. We are not going to make a Louis Vuitton bandana, but we are going to make a bandana, but like not a Louis Vuitton one. Initially, I thought of doing a Louis Vuitton bandana, but then I realized it will take me a decade to embroider 100,000 little logos and will probably give me permanent back damage. Switch the idea to embroider some flames. Hope you like it nevertheless. So the first step into making literally anything is to do some research. Luckily on the website, the dimensions are given. So we're going to cut 120 centimeters for the length. So horizontally, it's going to be 120 centimeters. And then for the width, which would be vertically, it's 8 centimeters. So I'm just going to measure that out really fast. These are the lines I made, and this is how the bandana is going to look like. I'm just going to leave maybe 1 centimeter or so that I can make a hem.
Ways to do this. The first way I'm going to show you is you iron. It's called a double folded hem. So we're going to fold up a narrow piece, and then we're going to fold up a deeper piece.
You see, when I said 2020 was going to be my year, I wasn't expecting to be ironing a piece of fabric for random people on the internet. We're going to fold the 1 centimeter strip of fabric that I left off, and we're gonna iron it. But before I do that, I probably should measure because I forgot the dimensions. So let's go. So after about 20 or 30 minutes later, I finished ironing all the sides. So what we're going to do now is go to the sewing machine to sew all the sides. Before we head to the sewing machine, I'm just going to cut some of the excess thread left from the back side. So we're just going to do that. Okay, so now I've sewn the hem and it's looking fresh. I could stop here. I think if I would tie it up on my head, it already looks like a decent bandana. A decent bandana if you tie it properly. So to me, this looks pretty decent because we're going to be embroidering. Before I get to the flame embroidery, I just want to take a minute to show you guys some of the wasted footage from my Louis Vuitton bandana project that I started initially. And if you guys are not interested in seeing it, you can always just skip 1 minute ahead. hope this is the last step to our project, because I feel like I've spent more time than I should doing this, because I'm a huge procrastinator and I feel like I've spent way too much time and I have to move on. So this is how I left off a few days back. I drew the Louis Vuitton monogram all over it and then realized that it was too much of a pain to embroider all those little logos, so I had to erase all of them. But since erasers don't work on fabric, I had to go wash it and wait for it to dry. But anyways, I feel like the Louis Vuitton monogram has washed off a little bit. It still has a mark to it, but I feel like after 2 or 3 washes, it's going to disappear. For our final step, we're going to embroider the fire motif, but before we do that, I will have to sketch out how the fire motif is going to look like, so then later I'm going to have an easier time embroidering. One time I thought I could embroider something without sketching it and it did not look good. So anyways, we're going to sketch it. I'm going to try to put some clips of me sketching the fire motif, and hopefully I will still have some time to do some of my homework, because I've spent way too much time on this project. There's a big pile of homework lurking in the corner over there and it's scaring me. For the past couple of minutes, I've been looking for some reference photo for me to sketch. I literally searched up aesthetic fire cartoon, like this is a no-brainer. So I found a couple of pictures that might do this bandana justice. So these are some of the pictures I found. Well, this is just one picture, but it has a bunch of fire motifs on it. I'll choose the third one. I feel like the third one looks quite nice. So now I've finished sketching out the first layer of the fire motif, because it's on the reference photo there are several layers. Like there is the first layer, which is in orange, and the second layer, which is in yellow. I don't know if you can see properly, but I'm going to finish embroidering the first layer first. I don't know how much time it's gonna take. Probably more time than I should. So I'm gonna get to business. I wanna make it unique, you know, I wanna make it special. So I am probably gonna use another colorway. Wait, hold on a second. I've got a bunch of embroidering floss and I'm just gonna pick out the red tones and I'm gonna choose a colorway for this motif. So now I've sorted out all the red tones and this is what I ended up with. Though they might all kind of look the same on camera, I am very picky and I am trying to figure out the best colorway possible for this project. I really like this color. I'm not sure the name of the color, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around hot pink or violet. And the second one up is this color. I feel like this does not scream red or pink. This color is pretty muted and I like it because it screams maturity, even though I'm trying very hard to be mature here. I'm not even sure if I have enough embroidering floss to last me throughout this project. Since we're going to be embroidering, we're going to be needing embroidery hoops. I do not have a small minuscule hoop to fit this bandana, but I do have a gigantic hoop.
The bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. Look how big mine are.
So we're going to use this not so humble hoop, and we're gonna attempt to fit this bandana in there. So I'm just gonna try. I know it's not gonna be secure, but I'm just gonna work with what I have. This is looking pretty tight. I I just remember that I read this one article that if we're going to do something that requires meticulous details, it's better to split the embroidering floss in half, which is great because I don't really have a lot of floss left. So I feel like by doing that, it's going to save me a lot of floss. So without further ado, let's get flossing. I've just realized that that's one of the cringiest things I've ever said. It has been 2 hours maybe, and I'm so happy that I'm finally done with this bandana project. Here is how it looks like. A lot of work has gone into this. I think I made this over the span of 2 weeks, but I'm really proud of how it turned out. It is not sewn by a machine, so it's definitely not perfect, but that's what I like. It looks like it's sewn by machine from far away, but then if you would go closer, you could see some imperfections, but I guess it's okay. The only way that you will know that this bandana is made by hand is, well, if you watch this video, or if you will turn the bandana on the wrong side and you could see all the work that has gone into it. The front side is like who I aspire to be versus the back side, me in reality. If you've watched this entire video, you, my friend, sir, ma'am, you deserve a gold star. Yes, a gold star. Here is my imaginary gold star to you. That's what you deserve. Now that we have made the bandana, I have a couple of propositions for what we could use this bandana for. Here are some things you can do with your bandana. Number 1. Use this bandana to flex on your friends until you realize that you don't have friends to take a photo of you, so you have to use self-timer instead. Number 2. Use it to carry the unbearing weight of expectations given to you from society and school in general. I doubt the bandana could bear the weight, so attempt it at your own risk. Number 3. Gift it to your cat to hopefully dilute its plan of murdering you one day. Be warned though, it might rip your bandana, so do it at your own risk. Number 4. Wrap the bandana around your head for Zoom meetings. Select green screen, then a picture of the galaxy so that you have a whole galaxy on your forehead. And finally, not recommended though, use it to choke your plants. This wraps up the video. A couple of takeaways from this project. They are that I should be embroidering more often because I feel like this bandana really turned out very nice. This project also taught me how to embroider much faster and efficiently. So I feel like in later projects that require embroidering or sewing, I am going to be a little bit more faster and efficient. This project really helped me to get out of my comfort zone and to try new forms of art other than sketching or coloring. Other than that, the bandana turned out great, and well, have a great day, Zucchinis.